I'm Rebecca Richardson, but most people call me Becky, and today I thought I'd go over my TBR Pile for 2019, or what's left of it, I guess. I'm going to apologise now if my voice sounds a bit croaky. It's a bit sore and a bit off, but should be fine. So, admittedly, I don't read loads throughout a year. I attempt one book a month usually. That's kind of like, if I get 2 books done in a month, then I'm like extremely happy with myself. 3 is like a miracle. But I read what I can. I'm more of a mood reader, which I think's part of the issue. Like, sometimes I won't read for like 3 weeks straight, and then I'll read a whole book in 2 days. Like, it just completely depends. But these are all books that I'm really hoping to get read this year. I haven't read much in the last few years at all, and I've kind of started getting back into it. So all of these books, most of them at least, have been out a while. So I'm kind of catching up still. So you've probably heard of most of the books on this list already and have seen a million reviews of them, and I just haven't read them yet. Hi, sorry to interrupt. This is Becky from the future. Past me forgot that there's a few spoilers mentioned that maybe people aren't aware of yet. Those being in Ghosts of the Shadow Market. If you haven't read the ebooks of Ghosts of the Shadow Market, there was a sentence in there. And I may have talked about the end of The Wicked King, so if you haven't read either of them, that's there's your spoiler warning now. Just literally a tiny thing. Very, very tiny things in both, but just in case. Anyway, continue. So, my first book is Ghosts of the Shadow Market by Cassandra Clare. I've been following her books since I was about 13. I've read them all to date, and I'm so excited for Ghosts of the Shadow Market. I've already read most of them because it's like short stories, and the majority of them were released last year on ebook. And so I read all of them other than the last 2, which are only coming out in the paperback next week. And I'm really excited because Jem Carstairs is like my favourite fictional character. I love him so much, and he's having a baby, and I'm like so excited. Very excited. I will be doing a review, I think, of Ghosts of the Shadow Market when it comes out as well, so look out for that. So next on my list is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. I'm actually like 100 pages into this, and then exams hit and I didn't read anything, and I thought I'm just going to leave it now till after I've read Ghosts, but this will be next. I'm really enjoying it actually so far. It's different to what I usually read as far as fantasy goes, but I like the whole heist premise of it. I'm really liking Kaz as a character at the moment. He's not like the usual broody male I find in most YA books, but he's still dark in his own way, and I do respect his aesthetic. So this will be what I read after Ghosts of the Shadow Market, and I will be following it up with Crooked Kingdom, the second in the series, which I know nothing about. I haven't even got the book, but I just know that if I read this one and I like it, I'm obviously going to read the next one, so I'm really excited to get these done. Next on my list is The Raven Cycle by Maggie Stavata. I'm going to be reading these whilst I'm on holiday, and I apologise if they're in the wrong order as I'm holding them. I'm not quite sure the order. I think that's correct. I might be wrong, but I'm really looking forward to reading these. A few of my friends have read them and have been like, you have to read The Raven Cycle, you've got to do it. And I know there's a TV show coming out based on it, so I was like, yeah, I'll read them. It sounds right up my street as well, with all of like the ghosts and things, I believe. But yeah, very excited about them. Next on the list is Queen of Nothing by Holly Black. I read the first 2 in the Folk of the Air series earlier this year, so that was The Cruel Prince and The Wicked King, and I really liked them. I wouldn't say they were my fave. I know there was a lot of hype around them, and I don't particularly relate to all of the hype, but I did think they were really good, and they're the first like fully fairy based series I think I've read. Like, usually there's something contemporary in most of what I read, but they were like straight in, and yeah, they were good. I really like Carden and Jude. I think Jude's a very different protagonist to what you often see in fantasy books, and so I'm really excited to see how it goes. Honestly, I have absolutely no idea how it's going to go. I think I've worked out most to do with the end and what it actually means for the next book. There was a lot. I was on Tumblr after it came out, and there was so many people like, he exiled her, and personally I think there's something else going on there. I don't think Carden's just being a bad person. I think, I'm fairly certain from the way everything was worded that there's more to it, but other than that I have absolutely no idea what's going to happen in that book, and I'm very excited to see what happens. So I'm a bit iffy with what's going to be next. By this point I'm expecting to be near the end of the year because Queen of Nothing comes out in November, I think, and I was unsure of what I'd be reading at the end of the year. So the two series I have to pick from are the Grisha trilogy by Leigh Bardugo and A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J Maas. So Grisha I was planning on reading just because by then I'll have read Six of Crows, and I know that the Grisha trilogy is actually set before Six of Crows, but everybody was like, Six of Crows is better, you don't have to have read the first trilogy, it's fine. But I do want to read them at some point. And so that's kind of somewhere on the list. I don't know much about it. All I know from it is like people I follow on Tumblr talking about it, and all I know is there's a character called the Darkling and another character called Alina. That's all I know of those books. But it's the same universe I know as Six of Crows, and I like the magical system in that, so hopefully that'll be good too. The series I'm more likely to read at the end of the year is A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J Maas. Mainly because I read Throne of Glass last year, well I finished it early this year, and I loved them. I thought they were brilliant. I thought it was a bit slow at the beginning, but I'd say Empire of Storms and Kingdom of Ash were amazing. Kingdom of Ash is like one of the best books I've read. I couldn't put it down, and it's not often that I can't put a book down, and I really, really enjoyed it. So I think I am looking forward to these. I've been told that the first one is not as good as the other ones, and from the premise of it, what I've been told, it sounds a bit, I don't know, there was something about that I was like, sounds okay, but I will read them because I've been told that everybody says that the second one, that one, is like the best book anybody's ever read, and I'm like, okay, I'll read them. But yeah, hopefully they'll be good. Hopefully I'll enjoy them as much as I did Throne of Glass. And I'm kind of relying on there being good female characters as well, because Aelin Galathynius, as I've been told to pronounce it, was like, I love her so much. I thought she was such a brilliant female protagonist, when a lot of YA fantasy, if you can really class it as YA, is, I don't know, I find we have quite flimsy female main characters that can be a bit naff at times, but I loved Aelin so much, and so I'm really hoping that Thera? I'm really hoping she's great as well, but I suppose we'll find out soon. So that's it. I think that's probably all I'll read. I have a section of time in like September to read another book, and I think I might read a standalone, but I don't know what, because I've like never read a standalone. I don't tend to like them, but I've got that month, so I might, I don't know, find a John Green book or something that everybody talks about and read one of them. But these are the books that I'm definitely going to read this year. I say that now, I might check back in at the end of the year and be like, so I didn't read anything. I will be doing a review of Ghosts of the Shadow Market when it comes out. I don't think I'm going to do any for the other books I'm reading though, because they've all been out a while, so it's kind of, there's no point in that. But I do plan on reviewing most of the new books I read from now on, so I'm very excited about talking about Gem Carstairs for 10 minutes straight. Can't wait. So that's all from me for now. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any books you're planning on reading this year, please leave them in the comments. I will have a look, and you know where the subscribe button is. Thank you for watching again. Bye!